Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. We are going to continue working today on our Autumn Splendor album, and once again I had a camera fail, so I'm going to have to do a walkthrough, and it's a pretty complicated page. It's actually easy to make, there's just a lot on it, and I'm really sorry about that. I'm recording on my phone and I can't afford a camera right now, so I'm having to put up with some issues, and I'm sorry. But anyway, sorry, that's my printer making noises. So this is page 1, page 2 and 3, page 4 we haven't done yet, and this is the page we're going to do now, page 5. Okay, so I'm going to have to do it as a walkthrough, and it's not as hard as it looks, so hopefully it'll work for you. In the cutting guide you will find this tree, okay, and in order to make this, what you should do is go ahead and cut straight across the bottom, and then you can just rough cut around the tree. Just like that. And then across the top you'll see there's some straight edges, so you just cut that. You can do this on your paper trimmer if you want. Just like that. And the thinner, cheaper paper you use for this, the better. Okay, so you're going to have that, which as you can see is facing the wrong way. That's what you want. Okay. Then you're going to cut a piece of your brown paper, which is what I use for my tree trunk, that is 7 inches high, okay, and a little wider than your tree. Okay, then you're going to take this piece, turn it over, and under a bright light so you can see through it, you want to apply just a little bit of glue along each of the little trunks, just a few dots here and there, okay? And then glue it down to your brown paper, okay? Let me see if I have. This is black, but you get the idea. Okay, so you're going to glue this down, lining up the bottom edge and that side edge and your top edge, because you will have cut it 7 inches. Okay, then take your scissors and go ahead and fussy cut around your tree. Okay, so now you have the tree, and set that aside for the moment. Then I used this paper, which is from the 6x8 sheet, but if you only have the 12x12 you can use that. And I cut a piece 8x6, which is actually the size of the paper, so I didn't really cut it, but if you're cutting it, that's what you'll cut it, and glue that at the top. Then I took this green polka dot, this is also from the 6x8, and I cut a piece, let's see, it's about 3.5 inches at the highest, and just hand cut a little wavy shape, okay, and glue that down. All right, then after I had those 2 pieces down, I glued my tree, lined up to the top and the right side, because now you're flipping it over, remember, so it's on this side, and you'll have some space at the bottom, that's fine. Okay, then the next step after that is to cut a strip of dark green paper that's about 1.5 inches and just glue it across the bottom. I cut mine in a wave, but you can't even see it, so it's really not necessary. Just put that at the bottom. Okay? All right, so that's the base of the page. The next step is going to be your fence. I used kraft cardstock, and I cut a strip. Let me see, I've already used it also. I can remember how big it was. Let me think. Yeah, 2.5 inches. So cut a piece 2.5 by 12. And from that, cut 9 pieces, or 10, no, it was 10 pieces, 1/4 inch wide. So 10 1/4 inch by 2.5. and then cut 2 pieces 1/4 inch by 8 from the bit you have left over. All right, so that's your fence. And now to make the fence, you want to take a clear ruler. Okay. And you want to line up this top one is 2 inches. The bottom of the strip is 2 inches from the bottom of the page. And then this bottom strip is 1 1/4 inches. So just take your 1 1/4 and lay that first horizontal strip, and then go 2 inches and lay the second horizontal strip. Then you're going to take and come in, you want to lay the 1/2 inch mark on your ruler along the bottom edge, and you want to lay the first fence post at 1/2 inch. Then, okay, so, and then each of these is a 1/2 inch apart. So just lay your ruler there, 1/2 inch is the next one, 1/2 inch, all the way across for your, so they're a half inch up from the bottom and spaced a 1/2 inch apart. Again, you can hardly see it, so if they're a little wonky, a little crooked, doesn't matter. And you can see I rounded the tops of mine a little bit, which I used a corner rounder, but you could use your scissors, or you could make points, however you want your fence to look. Oh, I just remembered, hang on, before you put your fence down. Okay, sorry, I had this all recorded, every single detail, and it just didn't record. I'm so sorry, I cried. Okay, behind the fence, just put some leaves, some cut aparts, you know, some pieces behind just to give some depth. You'll fussy cut all these leaves from your scraps of paper. They're all from this page in the 12 by 12 and the 6 by 8 I cut. So you can put some of those behind. I put some ephemera behind, just some fussy cuts, just to give it a little depth. They're not very visible, so you don't need to be too fussy with it. Just, you know, just put some things behind the fence, then put the fence. Okay, and then on the front, I used some ephemera. I used some fussy cuts. This is a fussy cut, these are fussy cut. These are some more of these little leaves. These are from the ephemera. And layer it, you know, with several layers. And I will try and give you some close-ups so you can get a better idea of what I put. But here along the bottom, these are fillers that I put in last. These are these leaves. This is a piece of ephemera. This is a cut apart from the 3 by 4 sheet. These pumpkins are ephemera. These 2 pieces are fussy cut from one of the sheets of paper. This is a piece of ephemera, and it's got a couple of other pieces of ephemera behind it. These little acorns are ephemera. And then I've got, again, these loose leaves. I've got a little bee from the ephemera. And then I have all the tree. I went through and I just did all these leaves and glued each one down, and I let some of them hang over the top and the right side because they'll be fine there, not here, because that's where the hinge is, but here. Okay, so everything is, and I inked with Vintage Photo. And I filled in some leaves. Oh, and this little sign was from the ephemera. So that's how this page was made. And I am so sorry. I literally had an hour that I shot making this whole page. I guess I can only say I'm sorry so many times. But anyway, so the first step is going to be just sit down and cut out a whole bunch of leaves and some other little flowers and things from your papers. Then make your background with this lighter page and this green dot. Glue down the tree. Then glue down the green piece across the bottom. Then glue down the pieces that are behind the fence. Again, they're not very visible. You just want a few things sort of visible, you know, poking up there. Then you're going to put your sign. Then you're going to put background pieces like these little sunflowers and these lighter leaves back here. Put taller things at each end. Both of this is an ephemera piece. This is a cut apart. And then add a few little pumpkins and some flowers, and then fill in with additional leaves. Did I mention the fence? I think I did. All right, so that is how to make this page. And again, I apologize that I don't have a video for it. So I'm going to pause here, get some stuff together, and we will make the last page. Okay, so I have the things we need for this page. Excuse me. It's the back of this one. And you're going to need this page from the 6x8 and a piece of cardstock 6.5 by 7. Score the left side and the bottom at 1/2 inch. Okay. And then we're going to take this piece. Now this can be done. Let me grab. Hang on. You can really use any paper, but it works really well with these kind of border sheets. This one would have been gorgeous, but we already used it elsewhere in the book. And this one was one I was leaning to, but I didn't think the colors were quite right for where it's going. Also, actually, these are gonna, if I had used either of these, it would have made a straight pocket. And this one's gonna make more of a corner pocket. And since all of these are on sort of the left side of the page, I didn't want a straight pocket on the left side of this page. I will show you why. Excuse me. Sorry, it's very early in the morning. All right, so this page goes like this. All right. If I had a straight pocket right here, everything would fall out when you flip the page. And ideally, I'd have this pocket on this side as well. But I do find with these kind of pockets, you can fit a few more things in and make them a little tighter, and things don't fall out as much. At least that's kind of how I feel about it. All right, so let me set this aside for the moment. We're going to use only this section, and we're going to fussy cut, okay? But I don't want to, I want to leave myself plenty of room. So I'm just roughly cutting. I am going to cut around October because I know I'm not using that. Okay, so just set that aside. You may want to use it. And what we're going to do is glue this down right in the corner where the 2 score marks meet. Okay, and since we will not be fussy cutting those edges, I'm going to go ahead and ink just those edges. Okay. And we will glue this down. Just like that. And I'm going to take my bone folder and burnish that really well. Now ideally you will set this aside for about 15 minutes and let it get nice and dry, but I'm just going to move along. So then what you're going to do is come up at an angle towards where you want your pocket to start. Just like that. And then just begin fussy cutting around the design. And I am gonna, I'm not gonna go all the way down in that deep crevice there because I kind of want to make sure the edge of my pocket is not too fragile. Although having the cardstock behind it helps. And you could have used a different color cardstock if you wanted, like green or burgundy or something. like that little seed pod or whatever it is, so I'm going to leave that. And I'm not trying to follow the line, I'm just shaking my scissors a little to give it a rough edge. And then you want to go down at an angle at the end. Okay? And while we've got our scissors out, let's go ahead and cut out this corner. There. And that is going to be our pocket edge. So let's go ahead and give that a good ink. Just like that. And then fold that back. Okay, and looks like I put mine up a little bit, so I'm just going to give that a good inking at the bottom and along the side again. That way if any of the kraft is showing, it'll be inked well. Let's go. And let's take our page. All right, and this is going to go right down here like that to form a pocket. And oops, I want to add a little ink right there. Now check, this is showing right there. It's not that big a deal because it'll most likely be covered up by the mat that's going to go there, but I'm going to trim it off anyway. Okay, and I'm going to use some tape if I have any handy. I feel like I've been working, pardon me, one project after another for months. I think I may need to take a few days pause and clean up my craft room. Okay. Especially since I need to start packing up my craft room for moving, which I'm dreading. This is the bottom, so we want to peel up the side a little bit and attach the bottom to it. And I'm just pulling up these corner pieces. And there we go. Easy, right? And let's get rid of some of these things. Now we need a background for that. And let's pull over our tree. It needs to go with that page. Let's see what I have. And I have anything I want because I've got a whole other sheet. I'm kind of inclined to use that because it picks up so nicely on the tree. I just worry, does it distract from the tree? We don't want, and it kind of doesn't really pop that pumpkin very well either. Okay, so it looks good, but not right. Have this one. That might be pretty because we've already used this section, so it's not a big deal if we cut part of it off. I think that would be really pretty. Okay, I'm going to cut it from this side, and we'll use this section. Okay, if you could only see. Thank goodness you can't. The mess that I have got going on here. Okay, so I need a piece 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. Let's see how that looks. I think that looks good. I'm trying to decide if I want to leave that black line along that edge there, or if I want to trim it off. It's kind of bugging me. I'm going to trim it off. I know they're minor details, but they can make a difference. Yeah, I like that better. It leaves a little bit more reveal each side, but I'd rather have that than that dark line. I like that a lot. Oh yeah, good choice. Okay. Yeah, what you doing, Boo? She jumped right on the keyboard where I'm recording the sound for this video. Hi. Usually I hear her coming. She pads across the floor. But I didn't hear her coming this time. This way. I don't want you going that way. There's all kind of things off camera up there that you do not need to be in. There we go. All right. She does have a sister, but Holly very rarely makes an appearance on the table while I'm filming. She's almost always around, but not on the table. If I didn't mention yet in this photo, this ink is Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. Don't worry too much about that corner. This is going to be down in the pocket. This out of the way so I don't accidentally get glue on it. Careful when you're burnishing this down that you don't damage the edge of that pocket. It's sturdy, but it's not that sturdy. Okay, there we go. Now, set some of these things aside. That's going to go there. There. it's here. Okay. Let me put the pin back in my glue. We have finished our pages. I think there's one place that I need a mat, or two. This is fully matted. Okay, so this is page 1. This I know I need a mat on the inside. And then we have page 3. Whoops, there we go. Page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, and page 7. No, that can't be right. That's got to be 8. I can't even count. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good heavens. Clearly it's too early. 1. Okay. I'm going to end it here. We finished our pages. I'm going to give you some homework. Finish your pages. And then I want you to refer to my how to make a cover video, which I will link, and make the cover for the book. Use the measurements for your chipboard that you'll find in the cutting guide, which will be linked down below. You should have it by now if you've made it this far. And go ahead and make your cover before the next video. And in the next video, we will make our hinge and insert the pages, and we'll see how far we get from there. But we're getting there. I will see you next time. Thank you for joining me. If you've already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you've not, just go ahead and hit the subscription button down below and the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. And if you enjoyed this video, hit like and share and all those other fun things. It really helps the channel, and I do appreciate it. Thanks so much. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.